The craziest thing happened to me. Yeah.
All right, we're doing it.
What are the freaking odds of this?
Beneath the starlight sky.
Oh, well, good morning. The craziest thing happened to me at the beginning of this week, and I just had to start this video by sharing. I got kicked by a horse. Was I hanging out with horses? No, I was not. I was on my run, and we were on a trail, and these people came by on horseback, and I've never interacted with horses. The last time I was close to a horse was when I was a child, so I don't know the etiquette. They didn't say anything. I thought I gave the horses wide enough berth, and the last horse did not agree with that and kicked me. And thankfully, it kicked me right in the meat of my thigh, my inner thigh. Did not hit a bone, no internal issues. I just have a giant bruise on my leg that hurts to the touch, of course. But went to urgent care, got it looked at. They're like, you're fine. Did an x-ray of my femur just to check, and they're like, everything looks good. You're just gonna have a gnarly bruise. And I have a gnarly bruise. So what a way to start the week. Didn't have that on my bingo card for 2025. But a cool story? Maybe, kind of. So crazy. I woke up this morning having the urge to run. But today's not my running day. So I'm gonna put on my weighted vest, get out for a walk, and get this day going. But I should tell this to you because, like, what are the freaking odds of me getting kicked by a horse? I was like so discombobulated. Like, what the heck just happened? Like, I kind of like blacked out in shock, like, as it was happening, because it just like happened so quickly. But I'm okay. I got a story to tell now. And as I've gotten to running, I got kicked by a horse. So let's go spend the day together. I have some really exciting, fun things on the horizon. Let's go do it together.
I've never been to this part of town. Everyone is dressed up here, but looks so down. Lost in a room where my shadow drowns. So glad I found you there in the crowd. All I wanted was a little connection, but they only care for their own.
Well, I'm officially back from my reading slump. I already finished one book this month, and I'm currently reading two other books. I finished One Golden Summer earlier this week, and it was so good. It helped me get out of my slump. If you haven't read any of her books, this is my first one. It was so good. Carly Fortune, I think that's how you say her name. It was so good. It was just like light and a little romance, and it was so summery, and it was just like cozy summertime quick read, and I just like enjoyed reading this every night before I went to bed. And great book when you're on a vacation, camping. I read this by the campfire on our camping trip. Highly, highly recommend it. If you like stories that are just light and easy and romance, slight steaminess, but not too much steaminess, not over the top steaminess, I should say. Finish this. And then the book that I'm reading right now is The Archive of Unknown Universes. And so far, I'm 62 pages in. I am really enjoying it. I picked it up not knowing really anything about it other than that it oscillates between two different time periods, and you see present day and then you see the storyline of those characters' ancestors. And I love a book that oscillates between two time periods, and I love that this book is set in Cuba. I've read quite a few books that are set in Cuba, and I really enjoyed them. and I find it really fascinating, and I love learning about new places and about history, and I feel like there is some of that in this book, and I feel like I'll get more of it the further I get into it. There's 3 storylines that I'm very fascinated with at the moment. One being that in present day, one of the characters is using this device that's kind of like AI, but they're not calling it AI. And I'm finding that very, very intriguing in this time of our relationship to AI and how we're using it. As someone that really is not a fan of AI, and I don't use it, very sparingly if I do, after reading this so far, it's definitely made me want to stop using it at all. There's a lot of like philosophical questions that come from that, and like how healthy of a relationship is it to have to this device that like we created. And the book is kind of posing this philosophical question of why are we seeking something that isn't us for the answers, and instead of listening to ourselves or asking guidance from other living human beings. I find that very fascinating in this time, especially as like AI psychosis is on the rise. And in the past few days, there's this storyline on TikTok of a woman going through AI psychosis. I've heard of another story of a man going through AI psychosis, and then just heard literally 30 minutes ago a story of a man who followed the guidelines of AI and told him to stop using table salt and try something else, and he poisoned himself. And that is devastating, and it just poses a big philosophical question, and I find that really interesting about this book. The other 2 storylines is there's like a forbidden love story happening, and I find that very fascinating. And then the other storyline that is of course at play is Cuba and their government, and I think that that's just very interesting to reflect on in the current climate of our country and what we're going through. So far, I'm really, really loving this. And this cover is beautiful, which is mainly what made me gravitate toward it. So maybe you want to pick it up and read it with me. So far, I'm really, really liking it. And this book was just randomly on the new release shelf in my library, and I was like, I'm gonna give it a try. So far, I really, really like it, and I love the writing, but I will let you know once I finish it. And then I am listening to a memoir, which I love listening to a memoir because I like hearing someone's story, and I feel like I absorb it more. And I'm reading a memoir about a runner. Let me pull up the name because I don't remember. It is Let Your Mind Run, a memoir of thinking my way to victory by Dina Castor. It is so good. It is blowing my mind. And as someone who, cat's out of the bag, hopes to run the New York City Marathon in 2026, I just want to read stories about running, and specifically women running, and I think it's really fascinating. And I'm loving her story. She's set so many world records. She's an incredible athlete. But the one thing that she really talks about in the book is how her relationship with her mind has really been the defining character of what has changed the trajectory of her running career, because she kind of lost her love and desire for running and then fell back into it as she changed this relationship with her thought process. And it's really sparked something in me and how we see the world. And she talks about not just in relationship to running, but really how changing her mindset shifted everything in her life. And she talks about too, her coach would always say like, you need to be in a good mindset. And she was like, I don't really know what this means. And it really just started to sink in of like, when things are not right, how can I have a good attitude about this? If it's raining, like, I'm learning how to run in uncomfortable conditions. If it's the wind's blowing in my face, I'm learning. This is teaching me something. Like just seeing the things as like a positive thing, and also like having gratitude for things. Like if she'd have a pain in her leg while she was running, like grateful that my body told me this before it just became so bad. Grateful that I feel tired during this run so that I know that I need more rest before a run of this length or of whatever. And I really want to take that into my day-to-day, but especially into my running, and just see how it changes my relationship to running. But so far I'm loving running, loving it, but more on that later. I have some projects that I need to get going, and I think it's going to be really exciting and really cool, so let's go do it together. I'm back here with my buddy, my sewing machine that I have not used since before my trip in May. 2 months without this friend, and I just cleaned it because it was making a lot of noise when I used it last time. So I'm hoping I fixed it. But I have a very exciting project, and hopefully this is the beginning of many projects because the fall is definitely sewing time. But this is what the project looks like. Bandanas, you might be wondering. I'm gonna make one for me and one for Kyle. So I saw this on TikTok, and this person took a bandana, and then they sewed a little pouch, which I need to cut. I have this extra fabric from something, and put a little square right in the middle. So there's a little pocket. You might be wondering, what's that for? Well, then you fold it over and it holds then in place. And inside that pocket, you could really put anything. The point of it is you put ice in it and then you wrap it around your neck. And you have an ice cooling pack that just slowly melts while you're running, while you're outside on a hot day. And I had to give it a go. I saw it and thought I would love to support a small crafting woman, but I think I can make it myself and it'd be a lot more cost effective because these were $3 each and I already have the scraps and everything else. So it is a $3 scarf, and I think they sell them for like 20, which is valid. It is work. So I'm gonna try to sew them. I'm gonna make one for me, one for Kyle. I should make a little one for Willow for when it's hot. Wait, I need to get another bandana, but like a smaller one, like a doggy bandana. That would be so freaking cute. Mommy, daddy, puppy matching. I can't. So I can just fold it over, do a little wrap. I can't wait to test this out tomorrow. Now I gotta make Kyle one. And I need to fix my sewing machine because something's going on with it. But it's not like perfectly sewn in straight lines, but with some ice, it's gonna feel so good. Wait, did I just come up with like the most genius idea? If I had a larger one of these, I could tie it around my waist, and then I have a hidden little pocket for like my ID and like a little chapstick and my key for when I'm like at a concert or something. And I can have a fun little accessory with like a dress on. I think I need to go find the larger bandana because I think Kyle's surprising me with going to some sort of concert or something tomorrow. It's at 8 p.m. I'm assuming it's a concert. But like, this would be so chic and like hands-free. Make little bandana bags. I guess I don't need a bandana. I could just use like a large piece of fabric that I have. I think I'm gonna try it. I think I got it. Genius! I also think I might have wanted to make the pocket a little bit smaller because it's a little bulky around the neck. So for my future ones, but I'd say pretty great for my first go. Well, ice, it's gonna be cooling. Yay! Willow's excited! You want one? You want one? Yeah? I love you. You're my bestest girl. Oh, see if this would work for you. It would be perfect. Oh my goodness, and you have a little ice pack. I found a doggy on the side of the road. Say hello, Kiki. Her mom's coming to get her. Oh, say hi, Kiki. Seriously, what are the freaking odds of this? I am just driving this road, getting a sense of potential route for running tomorrow because Kyle's having a hard time on the trail. So just plotting out like a run that will be the right distance along a road. And it was a road that I don't normally go down. And I'm going down this road and there's this dog who ends up being Kiki. And I pull over and I get her and I call the number on her tag. The woman drives down to get the dog and we start talking. And I was like, oh, I don't normally come down this road. Like I was planning on running this tomorrow and just getting a sense. And she's like, oh, like you're going to run up it or you're going to run down it? Cause I didn't realize, but it's like literally the most giant hill. So thankfully I would be planning to run down it based on the route that I had plotted. And I'm like, yeah, I'm hoping to run the 2026 New York City Marathon. She's like, I've run marathons. And I'm like, oh, cool. What marathons? And she's like, I ran Chicago and I ran a marathon in Arizona, which I can't remember the name of. And I was, if you won first place for, your gender, you won a car. And I got second place. She ran a marathon in 2 hours and 30 minutes. And then she went on to tell me she's the former coach of the University of Colorado's track team. And then she proceeded to give me a bunch of tips on training. And she was like, what you really have to do is build up to running like consistently, like, every 7 to 10 days for just 2 hours. You just have to build up that endurance because you're going to be running for longer than 2 hours. Like you're probably going to be running like 3 hours, 30 minutes for a marathon. I'm like, I'm hoping to do, if I'm lucky, 4 hours and 30 minutes. But she was like, yeah, you have my number. You can reach out to me and I can maybe come up with like a simple plan for you. Like, what? I just stumbled upon a marathon runner coach who has coached other people to run marathons, just casually, because I found a dog. Like, what? If that is not the universe saying you're exactly where you're meant to be and you're doing exactly what you need to do, I simply just don't know what to say. I'm dumbfounded. So, talk to people, have conversations. I wouldn't have not normally said that, but I pushed myself to just say the things. Like, I've been pushing myself to just tell everyone, I'm running the New York City Marathon in 2026. Because you don't know what conversations that's going to spark. And honestly, it holds you accountable. It's like, okay, I'm really doing this because I've told like 1,000 people. Definitely not 1,000 people. Well, now I have because all the people on the internet, but wild. Let's go run my longest run that I've ever run in my life.
All right, we're doing it. We are running 3.1 miles. Our first ever 5K. Let's go. 1 mile and 2 more to go. My legs are hurting, but they're getting stronger. 2 miles. Ah, we're doing it. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
We just ran a 5K, my first ever. The first mile hard, second mile, good, feeling great. Third mile, my knee started hurting, but not as bad as it's hurt in the past. I definitely still need to keep rehabbing it, but it's making me a little nervous. And I did have the thought, like, how the heck am I gonna run a marathon next year? But we ran, let me see, 3.1 for a total of 43 minutes and 28 seconds, which is 13 minutes and 59 seconds per mile. That sounds pretty good. We were running like 15, so picking up endurance. For the last couple weeks, I have just been watching and deep diving into watching people run the New York City Marathon, and I just sit there and sob. And I was trying to channel that emotion of like what it'll feel like if I was actually running the New York Marathon. How would I feel in that moment? And like trying to cultivate that while I was running this run. It helped a little bit, but I'm going to keep practicing that. Just remembering that feeling that I want to feel, that I'm going to feel in just over 14 months. We have to leave in 1 hour. We're gonna go get sushi and then go do, I don't know what we're gonna do. Also, do you like my outfit? I got this for my mom's 60th birthday, and honestly it's the perfect like lounging around the house shirt, so you might see me rocking it more often. But I got this giant bandana, and I'm gonna make another little pouch so that I can wear it as a bag. You'll see the outfit once I'm done sewing it, but I'm excited. I found this at like a local little shop, $4, and I'm gonna have a little handy dandy hands-free pouch to wear and go around my waist. Let's do it. I finished the bandana. It's got a little pocket, got my ID and my credit card. Thing I realized is you can't really put like a phone or anything else in there because it gets so bulky, not even a chapstick. So I decided to go with jeans so that I can put my phone in my pocket. But I love it. I think it's so fun. It's such a fun little accessory. I don't know what we're doing. I'm thinking a concert though. And I have my foot taped. My jeans are too tight because I'm feeling some plantar fasciitis pain along with the knee pain. So fun. All right, I think that's where I'm gonna leave you. Thanks for joining me for this very unpredictable, surprise-filled couple days. It's been a whirlwind. I ran my first 5K. I ran into a potential running coach. And I got kicked by a horse, all in just a couple days time. If you like this video, I think you're really gonna enjoy this video where I made my whole wardrobe for the surf trip that I went on. I think you'll really like it. All right, I love you so much. Have a beautiful day. See you in the next one.